YouTube! What up? Still cray in the garage. Finally taking the Sportster apart. I quit school. It wasn't really serving me anymore. I didn't care for it. I was too distracted. I keep wanting to do this, and I was getting nothing done because I didn't want to do school. I just wanted to do this, and I wasn't doing this because I needed to do school, and it was... Anyway, we're here. We're doing it. I don't regret quitting school. I'll talk about that for a second. I don't regret it. I was at a good spot. I learned a lot. I originally went to do manual, just to be able to throw something on a lathe or a mill that I could, make little parts. I need wheel spacers, whatever, and I achieved that for sure. Even going as far as to do CNC stuff. I started on lathe, and then I just got tired of writing code. But I could fuck around on a CNC mill for sure. I went through that whole part, so I'm missing a certificate. Would have had CNC lathe and then 5-axis. But it was just taking too much of my time. I wasn't there mentally. So instead, we're going to take a Harley apart and cut it in half. It sounds way more fun to me. Y'all are going to have to bear with me. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing in a lot of ways. I've mechanically, okay, I can figure shit out. I know the basics. I've never actually taken a motorcycle completely apart before. And also filming. I don't really know what's supposed to look good. I'm sure all you videographers out there are going to be critiquing the shit out of this. But get over it. All right, let's get on this fucking lift. I'm just kidding. You don't have to watch this shit. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure this isn't even attached. Yep. That slides out. Crazy how many of these parts won't be putting back on here. That's weird. Different size Allens. Which is weird because I've cleaned this carburetor, I don't know. Like fucking 3 or 4 times I've had it apart. It was back before we had this house. Yeah, when I first got it, it had trouble starting, so I had to clean it. It would leak. It still does, actually. If the bike is running and the petcock is on it, obviously, and the bike is idling, it will not leak. But if the bike is turned off and the petcock is on, the drain line leaks. Just drips fuel out of the line. I've not been able to figure that out. I completely replaced the float bowl valve and all that stuff. Cleaned it. And I had this thing apart and put back together. I don't know how many times. It was a lot. But I decided to settle whenever, if it's running, petcock is on, it's good. And then when you park it, you just turn the petcock off. Works fine. I don't remember these being different sizes, though. I don't know who torqued that down. All right, it's pretty loose. Okay, it's loose enough to be loose. Pliers. Doesn't look like there's fuel in there, so. Part of me wonders if I should have left the tank on before I started doing all this. Hook. Thought for sure that would get it to slide. Oh, there we go. Who said we couldn't do it? Carb off. It's probably dumping gas on the other side. Remember, keep your holes plugged. Well, the tank should come off. Should. What are you? There's gas in here. I think this is a vacuum line. If this dumps gas, pray for me. Money. It's kind of crazy just getting into this, and taking it all apart. Extra parts. Stuff you don't really think about. I've got to start selling some stuff, clearing out space in my garage. It's good because it'll probably help fund the project, Something else I didn't really think about, fluid draining. I should be okay to take the bike apart and drain the fluids. We'll figure it all out, but let's get back to it. You know, I don't think this exhaust has ever come apart before. I think I have some video on my phone of this bike, like running and stuff, so you'll be able to hear it. So many clamps. Probably looks better if I'm in the shot, right? I wonder what the purpose of this is here, this pass-through pipe. Getting a late start today. Meant to come out here earlier, but what is it, December 3rd? I think the wife's wanting me to hang Christmas lights. I was outside doing all that today. And I got carried away just doing other yard work and stuff. Waited for her to go to work with the boys so I can get started on this. Why is this not coming up? There we go. All right, we jumped ahead. I got these heat shields off. And I accidentally, well, I didn't accidentally, but I went ahead and broke loose this exhaust nut. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have one of these little adapters, get one. Especially if you're working on bikes at all. That's a satisfying sound. Let's see if we can get these. I bet y'all don't want to be staring at the back of my head either. Let's try that. There we go. That's the one I needed on. Right here, dude. Getting it lined up. Where are you at? Is this a 13? Let's try something different. I cannot believe how unseized these were. It's slow, but effective. You're hitting a stiff spot. I feel like the exhaust nut was threaded, cross-threaded on. It looks crooked. Coming off here. This is a tough to reach spot. And if you don't have that little adapter, like I was just saying, you're just gonna try and get your tool bit in there as best as you can and end up doing shit like this. I'm not too worried about it. We're taking the whole engine apart anyway. Well, got the 4 exhaust nuts off. There's a bracket down here. I can see a bolt. I don't think the front has one. Maybe it's that. It is that. Huh. I'll take a little bit more off. Like the rear master cylinder coming off. And then all that. I've got to get that out. Because as you can see, exhaust is just resting on it. Jesus. Those are different lengths. Probably remember that. That's the secret. Looks like we don't have to take as much off as we thought. I mean, we're gonna have to take it off anyway, but now that that's out of the way, this can move a lot more and I can get in there. Perfect. I'm just gonna figure out what size that is. I know I say I don't know what I'm doing, but sometimes I feel like I know exactly what I'm doing. Sometimes you gotta make sure that everything on your lift is not coming to a freaking tumble. The nut is off. Everything's off. I'm gonna go lower. Hopefully the bike doesn't fall over. Stay tuned. In theory, everything's loose. Okay. Oh, I didn't finish this one. That's why I said in theory. Gotta cover your bases. Loose exhaust. Acting like it doesn't want to come out on this side. This side's loose. This is safe. That's helpful. can I get? Hammer. What could I use? Help me. Off camera. I got the front off. The back, this upper, like where the exhaust nut goes, it's like the flange is sort of, something's like keeping it from coming off the bolt for some reason. So I have to muscle it. Famous last words, right? Maybe if I put this one back, it might be more inclined to come off. I need something longer. Make it more flush on the bolts, because when it's angled and then you're trying to pull it, it's like, I don't know how to describe it really. It doesn't want to come, but if you get it, you know. I'm just doing this on my YouTube. That's cool. I mean, just short of something like that to kind of wiggle it. I think we're making progress. The bottom over here is completely like off the bolt almost, but this one, it looks like it's still like attached almost to the cylinder head. Definitely a lot looser than it was. I still don't know why it's stuck though. Let me try another hammer. You could tell it wants to. If you think this sounds loud and unnecessary, it is. Try not to push on these fins too much, but I don't really know what else to do. Holy crap. I got it. I do not understand why it was like that. I really don't. A mallet, got it warped and just beat the crap out of it. Got it off. The only thing, and I hope I'll be able to see this, this looks slightly bent outwards. I don't know if it was like that before or I did it. I'm assuming it had to have been bent. That's the reason that it wouldn't come out. But once I managed to hit it enough to get this side off, yeah, it just came out after that. We'll get those exhaust ports plugged up, take a break for the day. Not bad progress. We're back. It's a week later. I'm ready to take more shit off this. I don't really know what the goal is for today. I mean, a lot of this isn't coming off. Leaving the wheels on, obviously, so I can still have a roller, triple tree and all that. Leaving the handlebars. Whole front end, rear wheel, suspension, shocks, they're all staying on just so I can roll it around. Have the frame mobile. Mobile? Mobile. I'll give you a ring on my mobile. Grew up in England, funny story. Fender, probably sounds easy. Wiring harness. I don't know why. I don't want to just cut it out. I'm not using it, I don't think. Probably make my own, which sounds scary. It's one of those things that you just know you have to do, and it's you just ignore it until it goes away, and it never goes away. Kind of wild how there's almost no tension on that at all. God damn, how many washers you got? Other side? Don't have one on the other side. Why would you? 7/16. A magic number. And that's a magic number. School of Rock. You guys ever have those days where you just can't quite get it all right? Go to take one thing off and you're like, well, I can't get to that. Let's try and take this other thing off. And you're like, well, I can't get to that. This is really the part where I have to put the emphasis on. I've never done this before. I've taken gas tanks off, taken carburetors off, taken exhausts off. Everything you see me do already, I've basically done. I've been inside a cam chest, but that was on the ST. As far as just, completely taking a bike apart. I'm sure there's a sequence to these things for efficiency. And yeah, I got a manual, but it's not exactly a step-by-step. How to part out your Sportster. All right, got that last bolt out. What is this? What is this? We're into a lot of hiccups today. Not very fun. You start getting reduced to removing pegs so you can feel like you've accomplished something. As much as I hate to admit it, I think the wheel's got to come off. I'm excited to get this engine out. I think it'll be really cool taking it apart. Got the service manual and that one dude on TC Bros, old guy with the long hair. He takes them apart. All right, pegs are off. So we take the horn off. Yo, is that red Loctite? I feel like I need a beer and a cigar. That does sound good. Yo, what was that? That's not good, right? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's fine. It's one of the stupidest and cheapest little things, but I use the piss out of it, man. So handy just to be able to switch them on the fly. Switch Phillips sizes, not have to carry a whole freaking set around. Might be the wrong size. Let's try one up. Mucho bettero. Honestly, another thing I'm really stoked on is freaking lift, man. It's a game changer. I see a lot of people use tables they build and all this other stuff, but it's just so handy to, what the hell is this? Oh, be able to lift it up. I mean, if you don't have the kind of funds for that and you like a wooden platform, absolutely do it. But even this little cheap Harbor Freight, I highly recommend if you get one to get the, upgrade the wheel chock on it. Well worth it. Those motor mounts. It looks like it. Here, here, there. I'll take this battery box off, but I don't know if you've seen on Sportsters, I'm pretty sure this is an oil line that runs to it, which I'm not ready to take off yet. I have a wild idea. Let's disconnect some shit. Seeing as it looks like all of the electrical is for some reason mounted to the fender. Got the belt guard off camera. I got visited by the pups. Coco! Out here acting like they're freezing. I really need to get this fender off. I feel like after the fender comes off, a lot more opens up. It acts like it wants to come off. There's just this bolt here. All right, I think I have a plan. I think I'm just avoiding taking the wheel off. I'm gonna take the shocks off. I've got the jack back here so I can raise the tire. And I just did it off camera anyway to take this belt guard off. So I think I'm gonna take the shocks off, lift the back up, get to the fender, take the fender off, put the shocks back on. Let's get to it. I feel like my hand's about to get pinched. That wasn't bad. See if I can get this one to slide out. I need something to do that. It's not that it's seized, just crusty. Welcome back. That's not a threaded hole. But to get it out, I had to I don't know. Nothing makes sense. This is probably I don't like that. But I can get my hand in here. I think that's a 10. Where are you? A socket would probably just be better. It is, in case you were wondering, 11. All right, now it's holding it on. What is it? I know it's something stupid. It is, for all intents and purposes, loose. I don't know what that was. I don't care. Anyone else hate cables? Nope, just me. What even is that? Feels loose, feels like it should just come right out, but there is this tangle. Well, I think we got it. Some wiring, which honestly I'm about to just. It feels good, not gonna lie. Whoa. What's rattling in here? Oh, it sounds like a bulb in the taillight. Got it. It's kind of wild. I don't like this shot though. I like that shot better. Lower, put these bolts back in. And hopefully my jack won't freaking slip. I'm gonna put some anti-seize in here. Let's try the opposite of what I did before. That doesn't want to work. How about Mr. Mallet? That one went right in. So did that one. You know, it's crazy doing this. I still get anxiety, you know, about when I take stuff apart, trying to remember which bolt goes where and all that stuff. And I need to keep like reminding myself that almost none of this is going back on the bike. The engine. That's about it. Something I gotta keep telling myself. Another thing I need to get better about, in the last video, I was so like sort of harping on, like, you know, I need to record progress. That's not necessarily the case. I was talking to my wife about what I had to do to get this rear exhaust off of me, just beating the shit out of that rear pipe with that mallet. And she's like, that'd be kind of funny. Like, people might want to see that. And obviously, no, you don't want to see me beat on an exhaust pipe and wrestle with it for, you know, however long it was, but to get little glimpses of it to be able to put in there. So I need to do better about just recording more and editing the crap out, as opposed to, well, I'm not making progress, turn the camera off, which I have been doing. So got the shocks back on. Probably lower this back. Starting to look like a frame. It's kind of cool. I'm getting kind of nervous about cutting this thing. I mean, I know I have the ability to do it, you know, but you never want to fuck it up. YouTube, I missed you. You're probably wondering, how can you miss me? It's been like 2 seconds. I think that last clip was December 10th, if I remember right. I'm still editing, but today is April 23rd. It's been a while. As you can see, I got the Sportster motors out. So the bike, as it stands right now, is completely disassembled. I did not record the last session. I recorded December 10th. That second recording session went pretty, it didn't go bad, it was just frustrating. It was incredibly frustrating. Everything I went to go take off, it was like there was a bolt or a nut that you couldn't get to because you had to take this part off to get to it, or it was nonstop that. And then it started getting cold, winter hit, and I sort of went into my winter slumber, hibernation, hiding thing. I just don't function in the winter. I like the warm weather. I like being outside when it's sunny. And then it started getting warm again, and it came time to, I want to go work on the bike. I want to go work on the bike, but I really did not want to record. I just wanted to do it. And the recording was really sort of holding me back. So eventually I just bit down and just went and did it. Sometimes, you know, you just want to do things without the pressure of a camera on you and trying to think of what to say and all this, but I will talk about how that went. It was really smooth for the most part. I had to drain the oil. There was almost none in the oil bag, which I found interesting. There was quite a bit in the engine. I had to take the primary cover off to remove the clutch cable so I can get the handlebars. I cut up the entire wiring harness. I had to remove the primary belt, which involved just unhooking one of the shocks and looping it around that way. I'd never taken an engine out before, and that's heavy and awkward. That's the full primary transmission and engine. It does kind of suck that that's how we ended that video, or ended this video. I didn't really get the full recording. It is what it is. I'll try and do better. I mean, it's April, springtime here. Not even a week ago today, I was on a trip with my homie Jordan, and we went to San Diego. We did do some fun things on the trip. Me and Jordan swapped bikes for a little bit. Outside of Las Vegas, we rode this road around Lake Mead. And I'd never ridden like a sort of like murdered out street glide before. That was interesting. I've never ridden a bike like that. It's very different how you sit on some of these Harleys. You know, basically the same bike. He has the 117 engine. He has the same exhaust as I do. We have the same cam chest kit. He has a stock air intake, which is still a high flow for the 117. It was just different how differently they perform, and even the exhaust sound. We got some ideas from that. Me and Jordan are probably going to do a video on that, swapping the bikes and comparing just how different they are. So look out for that. That'll be coming up. And then I'm going to have a full review on the GP suspension 2-inch lift coming up, because I just put over 1,500 miles on it in a couple days, and I've been riding it back and forth to work, but just getting used to it more. Very, very, very happy with it. So those are 2 things to look out for. Again, I'm sorry I didn't record the last part of the teardown. 2-Bit Moto Show is coming up in June here in Ogden, Utah. It's run by Tucker Speed, Levi Welch. It's sort of a collaboration, their little baby. It's sort of a merging of the art community and the Harley motorcycle community. It just really is sort of like a showcase of how many people that are in the Harley community are also creative and artists. And it is basically an art show of Harleys. You got painters there, tattoo artists, you'll have choppers there, just all kinds of creativity in one little display. It's awesome. But they have an open bike show. I was in it last year. It's a lot of fun just throwing my bike in there and letting people get to see it. The ST was in there, had the Tenere 700. That was in the off-road category. It was cool getting people to check that out. But the FXR, I want to get that in there this year. So that means chain conversion needs to get done. So this will probably sit here looking pretty for a little bit. Trying to think of what else you guys missed. 15,000 mile service on the Harley, got that done. New tires front and back. I went with the Metzler Cruise Tech front and rear. Happy with them. We ripped some canyons. Yeah, I didn't have a single concern about the tires. I think I got about 9 to 10,000 out of my rear last time. Got almost 15,000 out of the stock Harley front tire on the Lowrider ST. I'm hoping something similar with the Metzler. We'll see what happens. I love the rear though. It's very comparable to the stock, whatever Harley puts on there. Very, very grippy, but the original stock rear, I think I got like 6,000 miles out of it. And that's just, I need to be able to cruise a little bit. I do rip a lot locally, but I still would be able to do a trip from time to time. I've still got Sturgis coming up. Again, I apologize for, not recording that last part, but it's done. Again, no real major hiccups. The hardest part for me was getting the engine out. It's just sort of awkward. You really have to, because it's like down in there, in between the 2 bottom rails, and you have to, once you get it up and sort of like on the frame and out from in between the 2 slats, then you just got to pick it up and carry it. I think I've said enough here. I'm back. Warm weather's here. We're stoked. Appreciate you guys being patient, and we'll see you on the next one.